You seen these yet? These new folding phone?
Once upon a time, the human race had a dream. A vision of the future where we had evolved beyond our petty military conflicts. Where every human was guaranteed equal rights. Where we had time to spend with friends and family to pursue
they call it the Z Fold 3, this one here.
To pursue hobbies and trades, and to do meaningful work that we enjoyed, not because we had to, but because tedious, unpleasant labor had been handed off to automated systems.
Yes, the latest one, third generation. They just put, Samsung put out the third generation. They fixed a lot of things on it. It's very...
I think it's safe to say that vision is no closer...
They made a lot of progress here.
That vision is no closer today...
Could be the future of phones, actually.
That vision is no closer today than it was 100 years ago. People today are more unsure about the future than at perhaps any point in modern history. Every day we wake up and there's a new catastrophe.
Yeah, I just switched over to it.
Massive wildfires, record-breaking heat waves, disappearing glaciers, melting permafrost, political instability.
There's a lot of stuff you can do on it. You can play games on it. Big screen like this.
We also have the absurdly wealthy going on little joyrides to space.
I mean, you flip it like this, you can play games.
Jeff Bezos spent $5.5 billion to spend 11 minutes as far above the poor people as he could possibly get.
This one, you still have the display on the outside. You want to use it like a regular phone? They actually improved this display. It's 120 hertz now over here, like 120 hertz. I don't think you have that. You don't have that.
Meanwhile, his workers, who do the actual labor that produces Amazon's profits, face some of the most inhumane conditions in the country.
They got the pen input now.
Bezos has long been the subject of intense criticism.
You do the S Pen right onto the main display. You're taking notes, you're artistic, you're doing drawings. It's the pen input. They even got a Pro Pen. They got new pens just for the Fold lineup.
Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, went on the record to say that Americans will have to work longer and make risky investments in order to retire.
You still got the cameras as well. It's it's pretty much like the S21, S21 Ultra almost.
Over 30 million Americans are facing homelessness because their savings were destroyed by the pandemic. 30 million. Inequality in the United States now exceeds even that of the Gilded Age, the most extreme disparity in the country's history. With every crisis, the rich get richer, those who consider themselves middle class lose everything, and the poor fall deeper and deeper into crushing poverty. Why haven't we acted on climate change? Because Exxon has lobbied against it for decades, despite being among the first ones to realize their activity would cause problems down the line.
That's just a normal...
Then you've got the megacorporations like Amazon, Google, and Disney.
This is a whole new thing here. This is a whole new... It's folding now.
Want to buy something? Amazon has it cheaper. Streaming video? Amazon has it. Delivery? Amazon. Groceries? Amazon. Disney is slowly consuming all other media companies and IPs. Google dominates web traffic. This country is run by corporations, and they want to make sure it stays that way. But let's talk about the really dystopian stuff. There's a Nevada bill up for consideration that would allow tech companies to create their own cities, complete with governments, the right to develop their own taxation, and essentially equal power to traditional counties. That's exactly as terrifying as it sounds. Your job would have complete control over your life, determining what you can and can't do, how little they're allowed to pay you, how much you owe them in taxes.
You should probably just try it out, though. Like, I mean, you just give it like a... I mean, you just scroll the news a little bit, like quickly. You just would check it out. You should probably check it out. Well, they got this. I mean, you have the camera in the front now, which is underneath the display, right in here, underneath the display.
We have this weird fixation on the private sector, especially tech in the US, and it's going to get us into real trouble. So-called industry leaders like Bill Gates also enjoy essentially limitless positive press for even their most alarming projects. For example, Gates wants to shoot dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. If that sounds familiar, well, it just so happens to be the catalyst for one of our dystopian movies.
I like it. This is the future. This is the future right here. Do you not want to take part in the future?
Then there's every internet dweeb's favorite oligarch, Elon Musk. Neuralink, the company determined to put a computer chip in your brain, will be starting human trials in the very near future. And Musk has just announced that SpaceX will launch a satellite into space with the purpose of displaying advertisements.
What are you saying to me right now?
Any interested parties will be able to buy ad space with crypto. Soon, even the night sky will not offer an escape from the intrusion of capital. So, is the US becoming a dystopia? Our climate is collapsing, inequality is at its worst level ever, our politicians are corrupt and in the pocket of massive corporations, millions of Americans are on the brink of eviction, at which point they will be threatened with state violence.
Did you just call that a feature?
Tech startups may soon have their own autonomous cities where they will have
It's
complete
getting
control over
boring
the
now.
Inhabitants. We've got
Here's
space
the
billboards
solution.
on the way,
We're folding.
and people are
Now we're
lining up to
folding.
get microchipped by the world's least responsible Twitter troll.
They got a small one. It flips up as well.
Those with means
They, like,
will
fold
not
the
suffer
other
the
way.
consequences of the changing climate.
Just try the folding.
I
phone.
don't think it's a stretch to say
Just
that
try-
the US
just
is
try
not
the folding
becoming a
phone.
dystopia. It already is one.
Just
A system that is built
try
on
the
extraction,
folding phone.
exploitation,
Just 2
and the
minutes,
accumulation of wealth in the hands of a
3
tiny
minutes, 5
minority
minutes,
will never
listen
put
to
the good of the
speakers, just watch
species
a video.
ahead of their
I'm on
profits.
YouTube. I go on
Instead,
YouTube. I'm-
the machine
I'm
will
scrolling on
continue to be
YouTube.
greased
Look,
with the
I'm
blood of
scrolling.
the
It's
innocent
big.
and
Look at the
powerless.
screen.
This
You
is
can try
it.
it for 5
This
minutes.
is our
owns this
one
phone?
home.
I think our customers
Billionaire
own their
supervillains
phones,
will never terraform
for
Mars
sure.
to even a
can
fraction
try
of the
it.
livability of Earth.
You can try it.
So, what can average people do about this? I'm not going to lie. We face some serious problems, including the biggest one humanity has ever faced. But we're never powerless. The best
Okay,
thing-
forget it.
The best thing you can possibly do is get involved somewhere. Every little bit helps. There's always something we can do to lend a hand. It may not seem like much to you, but by working together, we can make a big difference. Take care of yourself, help others where you can, and throw sand in the gears of the machine. If our elected representatives and their corporate overlords continue to make our lives worse at every turn, if they aren't going to fix these massive problems that they've created, we need to do it ourselves.
What is this?
It's a meme, Batman.
I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
I don't get the joke.
Well, you see, people usually only play on one console, but both these women are so attractive that you'd want to play with them both.
But they aren't consoles.
The shirts they're wearing have the console logos on
What are
them.
you, some kind of furry?
You're the one here wearing an animal suit.